Hello, hello, it's Dory Danitel again. Welcome back. Hey, listen, today I wanted to talk about what I have found to be the one word that you probably don't know or may not know a lot about that could literally change the course of your life. Now, you may be thinking, okay, is it persistence or habits or food or diet, or maybe it's exercise, right? It's none of those. So we're often reminded to stay persistent, to stick with it, to stick with those positive health habits, stay the course. And the idea of staying the course is related to this one word that could literally change the course of your life. Unfortunately, here's how we often stay the course. We set up a life that's pretty much comfortable. And even when that does include some healthy behaviors, there's still a problem because eventually that comfortable life that we've set up can usually progress into some kind of as we age, as our age rises, our we're in sort of a slow downward trend as far as our health is concerned. That's what aging is. That's what it does. So what is this word? This word is health span. And the word has been used maybe in certain circles in the last maybe decade or so. And there's a lot of discussion around health span versus lifespan. Okay. So, and basically what's happening is there's policymakers are looking at this concept of health span, medical professionals are, wellness influencers are, and you definitely want to understand what this word is about. So this is not going to be a how-to video or what you need to do X, Y, or Z. This is going to just give you the idea of why you want to be focusing on this concept, health span, probably over lifespan, but both of those together and how they work together. So as I mentioned, aging is typically kind of your age rises and your health or your your functioning sort of spirals down, okay? And we see that spiraling down with mobility, brain power, agility, strength. And that also brings with it, we see kind of a spiraling down often as we age in this sort of decline, this typical decline situation. We see kind of a lack of enjoyment, right? We begin to losing the enjoyment of life, right? So I want to really focus in today on defining and differentiating the idea of lifespan versus health span. All right. So lifespan, most of us know. How long are we here on this earth? How long are we alive here in some way, shape, or form, right? But health span, this newer phrase, and again, it's being tossed around by researchers and policymakers and medical professionals and wellness practitioners. And we want to be able to use this term. And I want you, it's really important to know health span. If you're like me, I'm 60, where you are sitting on the precipice of aging, and that's where I felt like I was, we want to look at health span. Lifespan, again, is how long are we here on this earth, alive in some way, shape, or form. And this new term, health span, is how much of that life or those years we're here, are we in good health? Is there a lack of chronic disease, right? Do we have mobility? Do we have a sharp brain? All of those things. So there are statistics on these two measures. And this is what I want to bring up because you may be thinking, super great, Dory. Thanks for the info, right? Here's the reason you want to know this. So basically, there's a big, big difference. First of all, though, I'm going to start over on that. There are statistics available on these two measures, all right? And we definitely want to understand the statistics, what's happening with those, because we want to change the course of our life, right? We definitely want to know how to make sure that we have health span for our entire lifespan or as long of our lifespan as we can. So again, lifespan is pretty easily monitored, and there's a big difference between men women on the lifespan. How long are they going to live? Currently, a woman's lifespan is about 80 years, and a men hit at about 75 years. And I just want to tell you, lifespan over the course of, say, the last 100 years, the last century, has actually added about 35 years to our life. That's a huge, huge percentage increase. So you may know people, women particularly, this is happening in my current life. I have two women, my mother, whose birthday is today, happy birthday, mama, in her mid 80s, and my mother-in-law, both in she's in her later 80s. They had determined that they were going to not be around by the time they hit 80, both of them, independent of one another. This was a thing in the past, right? Oh, well, I'm not going to be here. Well, guess what? Chances are we're going to be here. And in fact, if you look at lifespan for us, if we're 60 right now or 50 right now, it's much longer when they use the statistics. We're looking at a lot longer than 80. All right. And you noticed that women live longer than men. This is why this health span is so important. Now, listen, if you've checked out because you're like, okay, this is really interesting stuff, but why do I care? So this is why, ladies, it's so important for us to understand and really grasp this concept of seeking health span. Okay. Because us ladies, we live longer. Now, you may be thinking, oh, well, that must mean that we're healthier, right? Oh, we have a better health span. I bet that's the reason. That isn't the reason. Women live longer, and also they do live longer. We know this from lifespan, but they also live longer and earlier on have more chronic disease and debilitating conditions. Now, ladies, you may be thinking, well, the men in our lives are better off, right? No, they're not immune. They tend to have more sort of really extreme life-threatening, life-altering medical issues. Those are heart attacks, strokes. But listen, 57% of all the people age 65 and older are female. So that's more than half. By age 85, 67% are women. And those numbers are going to continue to get more disparate as we go forward. Okay. Here's an important distinction though. This is like the important but here. Women, we know we're probably going to live longer. That's just been documented through lifespan. However, what we may be keeping our heads in the sand about, we don't want to admit, is that we are often going to be existing and living in what I would call subpar condition, right? This means that we're going to have health issues, a lot more health issues. I'm seeing this play out with my family. The men actually are living longer and they're still healthier. The women are deteriorating, okay? So you may be wondering, well, that's just how it is. Aging sucks. I can't tell you how often people tell me that aging sucks. And I say, actually, that's not true. Like I can just tell you that I feel better now. My body is younger, stronger, fitter, and happier than it was in all of my 40s, most of my 50s, and maybe even some of my 30s, to be honest. I am in better condition now. Again, so aging doesn't have to be, that's how it's going to go. That isn't the deal. So you may be wondering, well, is there a reason that women are living longer than men? Yeah, let's talk about those reasons, okay? There are some reasons that researchers have decided upon. Okay, one is behavioral. Men tend to be more likely to do some certain behaviors like smoke, and they take more risk. And P.S., this is just an aside to that risk thing, in my opinion, is married men actually live longer than single men. I personally think it's the influence of a woman who has a lot more, ability to say, that's too risky. You probably don't want to do that. But that's just my opinion. So we have behavioral stuff that matters. And strangely enough, the behavioral thing with women, we put our health aside. So we need to actually be paying attention to the behavioral stuff. We put that aside to take care of everyone else. And I personally think that that's part of the reason that we're in a worse condition as we age. Physiological reasons, also women's hormones. And, we love to hate our hormones, right? Especially as we get into menopause and beyond. But listen, the most hated hormone, estrogen, is actually believed to protect us women from heart disease, from high cholesterol, and also it seems that women have a stronger immune system somehow. And it's alluded that hormones have or give us the reason for that. So now on this video I mentioned, I'm not going to address how to ensure that your health span is equal to or greater than your lifespan. And what that would look like is you're healthy for all the days you're here on the earth, or, and then you're gone, and basically your health span matched that or was even better. I'm not going to use this video to explain how to do that. I'm just trying to get you to understand the concept and why it's so important to know about. And also the reason I'm not going to is I'm going to have an upcoming program, my Age Strong Method, which is going to include all the pieces on how to up-level your health span so that you feel awesome every single day of your time here on Earth. And in addition, I will have some individual videos on this YouTube channel in the future that go over some of the more important facets of aging strong in more detail. So what I'm here to tell you is this health span, the idea of health span, it's a valid pursuit. Too often I mentioned people say, well, this aging thing sucks. We basically just have decided that this is how it's going to be. And it reminds me of the metaphor of the frog boiling in water, where you put them in just normal room temperature water, and then you slowly turn the heat up and he doesn't jump out. He stays in the pan and boils to death, right? We don't want to be that frog. We don't need to be. I can just tell you from my own personal experience, if you aren't aware of my story, I was in that slow decline. I would have been that frog in boiling water. In my 40s, I was headed downward. I couldn't figure out how to get beyond that sort of deterioration, that health decline. And then I had a catastrophic health event that woke me up. It was like I woke up and sort of jumped out of the pot, right? And so I'm here to tell you, I've been in the worst of health, and now I am in the best of health. So if I can do it, and so many others that I know that I follow do it also. So please just know that you can too, all right? Health span is a valid pursuit at any age, anytime, so that you can live in a way every day that just feels good, okay? So reminder, subscribe to my channel so that you make sure that you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Oh, and until then, until my program, my Age Strong Method program is launched, which is coming soon, go ahead and follow me on social media. There will be links in the video description below. You can also check out offerings on my website, yourwisdomwellness.com. And if you're super, super eager, you can jump on a one-on-one health strategy session with me, and there'll be a link below, and we can just kind of figure out where you are currently and where you want to go with your health span. All right? Thanks all. Bye.